Need to work on my lighting. My lighting is just all off. Need to get like a little
Is it?
external. Hi, everybody.
Do we have any viewers in here yet?
I can't. It won't. I can't see that, unfortunately.
I actually want to see if the TikTok's working.
I can't. I don't have enough. I
Oh,
don't have enough
that's
cell
cool.
service.
We got 13 people in here.
Sweetness.
What's up, everybody? Joining on TikTok.
Hi. Doing things a little different today. We finally got TikTok abilities. Our band from back in freaking Darlington cost us the ability to stream live for these podcasts, but finally over and done with. So, William, Dalton. Now that's rude. That's just rude. Wait, can I click on active? No, only you can. I'm not special enough. So we're gonna get everything ready and then hop on into it. He's got to click a bunch of buttons and
Yeah.
text the president, all kinds of things, you know.
All right. Let's roll that intro.
All right.
New intro for you guys.
We'll be right back.
God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
Still down there. Still down there.
Still outside corner, you're number one.
Was out. Hell was out. Vanity just about out-wrecked him. And she busted her ass.
Boom. We're back.
Boom. You know what the best part about this new intro is?
They're all our clips.
They're all filmed by us.
We can't get copyrighted for that.
Yeah, there's zero way YouTube or anything else can come after us again. Bastards.
What up, Dalton?
What up, buddy? So, have you done the chugs yet? I mean, just wondering.
What's up, Will?
What's up, Will? I am. Hey, don't worry. We can get you a background in here just like the one I used to the meeting today.
And just so y'all know, we are live streaming to TikTok as well. Simulcasting, simul streaming, however you say it. You got 24 viewers on TikTok right now. That's pretty legit.
Too many words for me. You know, just a good old NASCAR redneck fan.
Yeah. Let me make sure. Oh, yeah, it's working on here.
Sweet. Well, obviously, nice.
Cool.
I'll save the judge for Dega. All right, we'll hold you to it. You got to come to Atlanta. Everyone else seems like they're coming to Atlanta. You need to come to Atlanta as well.
Well, if Rowdy goes back to back at Dega
and banned again,
is it going to be live butt chugs?
Live doing handstands on top of the bus. But we had Sonoma last week. A lot of well, not really a lot of fun, but a lot of things to talk about from Sonoma. Big news coming out of Chicago, which, depending on who you are, do you like it or you don't like it? I'm not a fan.
Are you talking about the Special Olympics thing?
Special Olympics thing. No. Try next year. There is no try. There is do and be there. There is no try.
We'll save a spot for you.
Already letting us down. But, Sonoma didn't really have too much big news. A lot of cup racers in the Xfinity race. Obviously, no truck race this last weekend. And then we really can't make picks because I think we got a week off, right?
We got an off week, yeah.
So it's going to be a little different of a show. It's your birthday.
I love you too, Dakota. My boy.
What up, brother? That's our favorite Bubba Wallace fan right there, guys. If you didn't know, you got to go Bubba for Dakota for his birthday. Biggest Bubba fan out there, period.
Oh, Whiskey on TikTok said he's coming to Atlanta too. Can we give him some autographs? Yes. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. I will sign it, but it will be my alter ego name. El Motlete.
Oh, Derek on TikTok said, ready for Denny to try and suspend the barriers. That's funny.
I like how
That's
he is
funny.
now the SMI expert, and everyone's looking to him. It's kind of like who was it, Weatherman last year, or no, Kligerman last year would like always dive into the SMI data after the races, and now it's
SMT,
lo and behold Denny,
SMT data.
the SMT data. Yeah, SMI. Sorry, I'm
Get it
thinking
right.
SMI from the tracks. I'm sorry. You know I'm half. But
So
no.
yeah,
So let's get into.
we had 2 races this weekend. Well, we had multiple races, but we're not going to talk about ARCA because who cares about ARCA? We're going to talk about the 2 big ones:
Well,
Xfinity, Cup Series. Trucks were off.
trucks were off. Now we can't speak a little bit about ARCA because was it Ryan Priest? Right? Didn't he win? So
Well, yeah, Ryan Priest did win. We had some field fillers, or I say field fillers. We had some Cup guys go down in the Xfinity and the ARCA race, and I guess Ryan Priest. I think they said that he led every single lap.
I know he dominated. That's all I really heard. I didn't watch it at all because it's ARCA. Nobody cares about ARCA. But congratulations for getting a win. Give him something.
And don't mind me looking away. I'm reading the TikTok chat. So I'm still trying to get a hang of this. This is our first TikTok live of our podcast. So everybody that's joining in, thank you so much. I know we can't really put the chat display up on the live feed on the YouTube side, but definitely appreciate everybody joining. We got 42 people in here so far.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I'd ignore the TikTok chat as much as possible just so we can stay fluent on this because this is where we got to people. Oh, and just like that, we lost him. Boo, bubba, boo. Well, I guess Andrew's done left. I don't know where Andy went, but I guess it's just me. Oh, he's coming back.
I don't know what happened there.
All right, let's move on to the Xfinity race because right now we're looking
Boo,
terrible.
boo, Bubba. Yep, Larson
these guys
choked
don't
so
know what
bad.
they're
Let's
doing.
talk about the Xfinity race and how Larson choked it up.
Oh God! So Larson obviously dominates. He was a second and a half above in practice. He was a second in front in qualifying, and then when you started watching that race, it looked like he was going to win the whole thing. There was going to be no disputes. But yeah, he did. He didn't do too well.
Yeah, I'll admit I kind of fell asleep before Larson choked it away because I don't understand why they started that race at 8:00 Eastern time. Seemed like it was a little bit of a late start. Why couldn't they start a little bit earlier?
I was a fan. I wish the Cup race would have started later.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean, I'm trying to get everything done during the day. I only get the 2 days, off, and so it's like, hey, doing it at 8 p.m. I was able to get everything I needed done. It was already getting dark outside, so grass was cut, weed eated, I grilled, all the kind of stuff. Got to sit down and just enjoy the race rather than other times where I'm like, crap, now I gotta either mow while watching it on my phone or listening to it instead of watching it. So I was happy with the late start. I wish the Cup race would have been later.
Yeah, I don't
Because over
agree
there
with
it's
that.
not that late.
No, I don't agree with that. So yeah, I did miss the part where Larson choked it away, but he definitely did stink up the show there for a while. Fastest in practice by like a second. Fastest in qualifying by like a second.
Yep.
And then he kind of checked out there early.
Yeah, he at one point he had a 13-second lead. You can do just about anything with a 13-second lead. So it definitely looked like he was. TV picks the time. We just play the game. Gotcha. It makes more sense. I like the late time. Like I said, I wish.
Check up on these comments too. Dakota, you better be on that bus in Atlanta.
Holding you to it. I'm going to shake you down for your lunch money if not.
He will too. Too much Larry.
Larry.
The TV and officials are glad it started. Yeah. TV picks a time, we just play the game. That is true.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, they got to pay for it somehow. They got to go through and get all the money. TV obviously rules the day. They got to get the races. They got to try to get them started. If nothing else, just got to get it and got to go through.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was very interesting because there was no damage on the front of Larson's car. And since you said you fell asleep, all of a sudden the tire barrier, someone hit it. And my guess is it had to have been Larson, or at least on one of the restarts, one of those late restarts, he messed up the front right of the car because you could visually see that the front right had been kind of up and in right in front of the tire where you could actually see straight to the tire. And as soon as that happened, he started moving back.
Yeah. I mean, again, I didn't really see it. I saw some of the clips on Instagram and everything, like just little highlights and everything where he had hit it. And I guess it damaged his car enough. Obviously, the Xfinity cars are probably not as durable as the Cup cars are, because we saw in the Cup race multiple guys hitting those tire barriers and knocking them out of the way.
LaJoy knocked the crap out of it. So did
Yeah.
Austin.
Yeah, he did.
But yeah, no, it definitely cost him. I mean, obviously we all saw. I don't know if you saw, but near the end where he hit it, and then when he hit it, the wheel jerked back left because it came out of his hand. We saw that, but the damage was already there before that point. That just made it even worse for him because he at least had gotten up into second, but there was nothing for him after that. He said it messed up the steering on it once he did that, and so for the rest of the race he was just fighting it, which wasn't many laps to go anyway. But Amarola, old Areola, ended up winning the race. Interesting.
Eric Ariola. Yeah, that was a hell of a finish as far as Eric winning it. I heard he was able to save his tires pretty well to kind of hold them off. That's the one thing I do like about the Xfinity series is that they do have to really work on their strategy and save tires where they can. Unlike, and I know the Cup guys, they have a tire allotment too, but I think they had 5 sets of tires.
5 sets of tires.
They talked about the Cup guys were going to try to run 4 pit stops, maybe 3. I think we saw a lot of guys run 3, but the Xfinity guys, how many pit stops do they have? 2, maybe 3?
Everyone's plan was the 3, but I think some teams ended up only with 2, just trying to get strategy. Because I mean, when Larson's 13 seconds ahead, you got to try to figure out something to at least put a dent in it. They didn't know that a restart or something, whatever damaged his car. Obviously, they didn't know was going to slow him down the way it did. But yeah, I mean, he looked like he was going to walk away with it, and unfortunately, it did not come to pass. I would have wished anyone else other than Areola would have won, though. I was really going for obviously Larson. I mean, we had some big names in there. I think the first 5 were all Cup guys.
Oh yeah, we obviously had Larson. We had Almirola.
Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs was in it.
Chastain and Suarez.
Which they did not do that well.
They stayed like 15th, 14th. I think they got up to 10th. I think it was the highest either of them got.
Yeah. I'm
But
trying to find I'll try to find the list and run down here.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Everybody that's in the TikTok chat, we appreciate you joining in. Take this quick second to tell y'all to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because right now on our YouTube channel, if you comment on here, we can highlight and throw you guys up on there. Yeah. Of course, we have some really good content on YouTube as well.
It's YouTube, Facebook, both of those. If you comment on either of those 2, it shows up here, and we can actually click on you and put you up onto the page. TikTok, unfortunately, the chat does not cross over into this, so it's a little bit tougher. But we're still trying to get the hang of adding TikTok to it. Hopefully, next week can be a little bit more fluid and less distracted on both sides. But
we are going to we do plan on going live on TikTok, at least TikTok, if not all the other sources as well. Friday, we're going to have a little open discussion, whatever you guys want to talk about. Since it's an off weekend, a rare off weekend in the Cup Series, I think it's off weekend for all 3.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's racing this weekend. Pretty sure we're all off. The good news is we'll probably do that just on TikTok, just because of being able to actually see the chat and like be talking back and forth. Chat and TikTok will get a little bit faster and more. This one only when we click on you, and it can get backlogged and all those kind of things. Yeah. So I'll probably just do TikTok for the Friday shows, and that'll be up to date race stuff. Obviously, with it being a bye week, we're gonna talk crap about Chicago, talk crap about everything else. How big a Ty Dillon trash came over from TikTok.
Josh on TikTok said that Eric was fast in that 28. Great winner points day for the Ryan Sieg Racing. That is very true.
Yeah, that was
I
their
totally
first
forgot that
win.
was a Ryan Sieg car as well.
Yeah, that was their first win. They got lucky.
Thanks, Josh. We appreciate that.
Yeah,
That's
obviously, first win for them. Great job for that team. This car looked like it was a last-minute choice.
Jesus Christ.
500 inches. Now you're just being a little, boastful, sir.
Pitman. Ty Dillon.
Oh God,
Lord and Savior.
you actually accepted anything he said? Oh goodness gracious! There's gonna be so much Ty Dillon slander in this chat now.
That's a load of crap. Where's the trash can emote?
We just lost everybody credibility right there. We got a trash
Quickly,
can in the chat.
Xfinity Series rundown. We had 4 Cup guys in the top 4. Areola, Allmendinger, Larson, Ty Gibbs.
Now,
I was surprised to see Ty Gibbs run that race, but I thought about it. That's the first time Xfinity ran the Sonoma race, and so I'm sure that he wanted to. Geez, I cannot keep up with the chats going on right now. No, keep your kissy faces to yourself.
Don't. We got to stay not
okay.
Whiskey. Don't feel like you got to click on everything. Oh God. There goes the channel, guys. Hope y'all had a great time. We're gonna be banned now. We got butt chugging, and now we got buttholes. This is just—it's a NASCAR podcast that's going.
Only if Dalton butt chugs live.
Oh my goodness!
If we can get Dalton to butt chug some Rowdy live, we might be able to get banned.
So AJ, I'm actually surprised. One person that I thought was going to do better overall this weekend. There's 2, but the one that raced in both would definitely be AJ. I thought the Dinger was going to have more of a closer race. At first, he was the only one that looked like he was going to get to Larson, but he just couldn't get it done. He couldn't get past second all day.
Right. Derek said, the one thing I wanted for Father's Day was to sit and quietly enjoy a race, but no, let's race. Yeah, that's true. I forgot this weekend was Father's Day weekend.
Yep, Father's Day weekend, so we get nothing. We get a race on Mother's Day, but we don't get a race on Father's Day. NASCAR, make it make sense. Who's the target market?
Oh my God, I don't know what I stumbled in here.
So much hair. So much hair.
Digital social board on the holler. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We have officially made it.
Well, now NASCAR is going to ban us too. Great. We're just persona non grata everywhere.
This is not good. This is not good. You guys are blowing us up in a bad way.
I got to hold them down now.
You keep your areolas to yourself. Ross Chastain finished 18th in the Xfinity race. So again, like I said, Chastain and Suarez did not have good outings. Suarez finished 27th.
There's more. I mean, there's more than that too. And that kind of makes me think, do you think Cup guys, obviously I think they get 5 races a year. They can go down to Xfinity or truck. Do you think that's fair? Or do you think they shouldn't be allowed to do it? Or maybe less races, not 5, maybe 3 or 2?
I personally think 5 is a good number. I know in the past when Kyle Busch ran almost every single Xfinity race, back when you could run Cup Series and Xfinity Series and run for points in both, that was too much. I mean, yes, it was great to see Kyle win a championship, and everybody hated that too because, he just beat up on those guys, won 10, 15 races a year. As far as it stands now, I don't mind it at all. I think it's a good number of races for Cup guys to go down and give these guys experience. For guys that don't have a lot of experience against Cup guys or guys that don't have a lot of experience at all, just being able to get behind a Cup guy and see their line that they're running. I mean, that's infinite wisdom enough to be able to improve, your skill set.
Yeah. I think my opinion on it is if you bring back longer practices, they shouldn't be able to. But with the way it's currently, excuse me, now I'm dying on screen. Terrible timing. If they keep it the way it is, they should be allowed some races. I don't know if 5's the answer. Obviously, when we do our picks, we pick excluding any of the guys that are just fill-ins. My voice is gone now because of that. Great. See, y'all, hey, this is why the followers are great. Y'all got to tag us and all these things, and that makes it to where we get put up there. I mean, this sexy devil on TV, come on.
Yeah.
But
shout out to Parker Kligerman for a top 5 and having a clean race. That is true. To be able to come back from Portland after just knocking his way in there on that green, white checkered,
I think awesome. This is his first clean race of the year.
Gee.
All right, that's it.
Dalton, if you're talking about Kyle Busch going out there and winning 15 races a year in Xfinity Series, I'm sure you loved it.
And why is Brandon Jones so slow in the 9 car? That's actually
Brandon has not had a good start at all.
Do you think he's better or worse than when he was with JGR?
I think he's about the same, to be honest. Now, I will say, Junior Motorsports has taken a step back from where they were last year, or Joe Gibbs has gotten better. So either or, I think you can blame a little bit on that, but I don't. Brandon obviously brought money with Menards, so what are you going to do?
And I think that's what brings it. Is obviously he has a lot of money to bring it behind it.
Not bringing back longer practices. I know all the crew guys don't want it.
Yeah, nobody really wants it on the NASCAR side, but if you're going to go for the other piece, it needs to be.
That is so true. I remember, was that the race that Kyle blew a tire on the last lap? I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, God. Maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't. Crap. It's earthy. I don't know how long that water's been in there. That's the bad part.
I think we just got to end it here.
I was choking, dying. Bless his heart.
This chat, I can't keep up with it.
I hate it. Straight tequila.
Cartmaster, real quickly on TikTok. What's our opinion on Corey LaJoie in the 9 car?
So, made a video of it, obviously. He had a chance to show out, and he didn't. And for people saying, oh, it's just one race, he's in a next-gen car week in, week out. Josh Berry is not. Josh Berry came out and finished 29th his first time in that car.
With pretty much no Cup experience in next-gen cars.
Exactly. So that's all I have to say about the whole thing.
I just want to touch quickly on the fact, and we talked about this last week's episode, that Corey, obviously, he has next-gen experience. Hendrick cars kind of ran like crap throughout that race. William was the strongest. Obviously, Larson started like 30th, ran there for the first stage. But I'm not
able to make adjustments.
Yeah, I'm not giving LaJoie the benefit of the doubt on that. I mean, he's had experience.
You can't scream every week and go, I need better equipment, and I'll show you what I can do. I'll get better equipment, I'll show you what I can do, and then not do it. I mean, obviously, luckily, well, not unluckily for him, Hocevar had a heck of a day in that car. We've talked about how the 7 car is definitely better funded than the 77 because Glad Trash Bags just doesn't give them enough money. So, I mean, it's something that the 7 gets more money. It's definitely a faster car to begin with.
That's why you were choking and dying there. That was your Lord and Savior Ty getting you.
Oh, my Lanta.
Harvick versus Larson versus Busch. I believe that was the Xfinity race that Dalton's talking about.
Yeah. That was the 14.
Straight tequila in that spray bottle?
No. If I was mixing anything, it'd be in the Moe's Cup. I was hoping nobody would really notice because I was choking and I don't know where anything else is. But great, you saw it.
Hope that's
it's not but I don't know how long it's been in there. And it's floral.
You guys are killing me in this chat. I'll have to listen to that. I didn't listen to Stacking Excuses, the podcast that Corey LaJoie's on, so I'm sure it was full of.
I don't really want to listen to it. That's one podcast that I started listening to, and then like every single week I wanted to listen to it less and less until I just stopped listening to it.
Yeah.
Door Bumper Clear is my number 1, and then the Dale Jr. Download is my number 2, and then I kind of fill it in with the Tear Down and some other things.
Actions Detrimental. Don't forget about that one.
Oh yeah, Action Georgia Metro's worked its way up there to definitely top. It's probably 2, and then Dale Jr. downloads probably 3. I like how they split up the show now. That's been a big thing for me.
Everybody
But,
on TikTok, we really do appreciate you joining in. I'm trying to get to your comments as quickly as I can. But if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll be able to get definite comments showing up on the live stream here. I just saw
John.
Tuna Minus Crust joined in, so I know he's been a long
John's
time watcher.
comment. Whiskeys, John. I can make that happen. I will bring this and make that happen.
Yeah,
and I won't even change out the
that.
water. It's still going to be the same, probably, I don't know, 2-year-old water. I don't know how long it's been in there.
Bring the spray bottle.
I'll bring the spray bottle. It'll still have the water. I won't even
spray it through the garage area.
Do I do it like the Misty? Like,
yeah. Corey Harden points from Austin Dillon.
Yeah, but that's not fair. You're comparing trash. Dillon.
Josh is fitting in really good here already. Areola.
If the Dillon name is attached, they ain't that good at racing. Let's just be honest. Last year, Austin got to Mickey Mouse's way in. And then this year, what has he done? I mean, you can't say it's the car because obviously we're seeing what KFB can be doing in this car. What's Dillon? What's Austin Dillon doing?
It is I'm not ragging on Austin. I would definitely take Austin over Ty any day of the week.
100%. That's like Glad compared to Hefty.
I think Austin even said it though. Like right when Kyle Busch joined the team, he was like, I know Kyle's going to be a better driver. I know Kyle's going to have better results. It is what it is. It's going to make the whole team better though. And I got to look at points. I haven't looked at points for Cup Series yet. We'll get into that later. But
at first, Austin was running better because we even talked about that in one of our actual podcasts. But ever since probably the 3rd, 4th race in, hasn't really worked out for him. Priest, yeah.
Couple comments here on TikTok I want to get to. Cartmaster, do you think the Prelude to the Dream should come back where Cup guys drive dirt late models?
Yes.
I think it would be cool. Now,
yes.
Certainly these guys can easily ask to run, dirt late model races. You mean, you look at what Kyle Larson's doing. So
what I wish would happen at some of these races, so Charlotte in particular, that's one I'm going to pick out just by itself. If there's a Charlotte race, there should be a dirt track race that your ticket gets you into as well if you have a weekend pass.
I like that
way
idea.
You can buy one ticket, all race. Bring back some form of speed week. You can run that maybe Thursday night or Friday night, probably Thursday night at the dirt track. And if you have the weekend pass, you get to go there for free, or you can just purchase tickets and just go to that. Any track that has a dirt track right there at it, I wish they would do something like that.
You got RJ in the chat on TikTok.
What's up, RJ?
RJ said, I hope Chase wins soon. I am worried.
Yeah, it's not looking great.
Derek said the same thing. Same here, RJ. Think we have a good shot at Nashville. I definitely think Chase has a good shot at Nashville. I have my reservations about Chase's shots this year, to be honest.
Did you think that Chase was going to finish in the top 5?
Yes and no. I can't count him out of a road course.
Yeah.
But the 9 car just has not shown speed this year. Now, granted, Chase has not been in the 9 car that much this year either. So,
well, his average finishes, I mean, when he is in the car, he's been finishing in the top 10, top 5 pretty consistently lately, even though obviously being out of the car at multiple different times. When he's been in there, he's been finishing rather well. He just can't put it all together. And I think it's a consistency thing. I mean, if you're not in the car week in, week out, that's going to be an issue. Now, one thing I did like is I saw interviews with him the day before the race, and he actually showed 1% personality.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah.
I was hoping Austin Dillon would improve after bringing Kyle in, but seriously gotten so much worse.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to ask for another suspension since he got right-reared again.
30th in points. I did not need to look that up. Dalton came through with that one.
So 80's 30th. Where's Ty? And what's the record for the lowest amount of points in a season by brothers?
I don't know. Bring back the Charlotte Pit Crew Challenge from the 2012 era. It's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea at all.
Speaking
That's
about
the
like
one
Charlotte
thing,
Pit Crew challenges, I loved it when the All-Star race was there at Charlotte and they had to do the flying down pit road and stop in their pit
slam on the
box.
brakes.
I'm not being biased towards, being a Larson fan and all, but there's nothing that beats that time that Larson slid through his pit stall and went through 5 other pit stalls, and Jeff Gordon's just laughing his ass off during the commentary.
Dude, he had no chance of making it, but he gave it all the Beniegos. I mean, that dude was flying. Now, if they did that again today, who do you think would win that pit challenge again? Because William Byron's pit crew has been on fire. Trackhouse pit crews, well, not really Trackhouse total, more towards Ross. Ross's pit crew has been really, really good. Denny's has been inconsistent, good sometimes, bad sometimes.
Yeah, Denny's crew had a bad pit stop at Sonoma. That's kind of what put him there in that middle of that track position area and kind of screwed him, to be honest.
Yeah. So who do you think right now is the best pit crew out there?
I can't wait for NBC. No, I'm glad Fox is over with. I'll take NBC any day of the week.
Yeah, NBC is so much better than Fox. There was pictures. We were sitting in our group chat, and one, Corey LaJoy was still in his Hendrick gear in the cartoon. They went to commercial every 2.5 laps. I literally had to go.
Were you not keeping up with my Twitter post?
No, he doesn't follow us. He doesn't actually follow us on anything. You got to remember, he says he does, but then But I had bubble guts, had to go run to the bathroom. I was in there for 15 minutes. I come back. I only missed 2 laps on TV. Like, come on, Fox.
RJ wants to know what races we think Chase has a shot at.
Roval.
Yeah, but that's out of the playoffs, or that's in the playoffs.
That's
as far as
like, we need to get the playoffs. Nashville probably top 5, but
I will throw Watkins Glen in there. I think Chase would have a really good shot at the Glen.
Man, the way he's been racing lately, I don't know. I think Roval would be his best chance. Obviously, it'd be outside the playoffs.
Yeah. I know,
but I'm saying like that for me, if I was going to pick one that he is going to win or that I think he's going to win, it would be that course to get in the playoffs.
Joining in.
Does Chase make the playoffs?
I personally, I don't think he does.
Right now, I'm saying
the chemistry with that team this year.
And honestly, and this is coming from an not really an ex, but I'm not really a big fan of Chase anymore.
Yes, he will.
It's one of those things where I don't think Chase deserves to be in the playoffs this year. You don't right rear somebody and then show zero empathy, show no remorse, don't apologize, nothing, and then just go about your merry way. So I don't think he deserves to be in the playoffs this year.
I don't. It's not that it's the lack of empathy or remorse or whatever it is that what he did to Denny. I don't have a problem with that. These guys, they've had history in the past. What I have a problem with is NASCAR suspended Chase for actions detrimental, intentionally right-rearing somebody, and causing harm. I mean, we know the safety issue with these cars. I know NASCAR is improving the safety with these cars, but we know the history of these cars. To be able to give him a playoff waiver that's like a slap on the wrist, and then, oh, by the way, just because you messed up, we're going to let you back in. Like, I don't agree with that. I get the medical waiver. I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem whatsoever. These guys need to live a life. They need to go out there. They need to do what they need to do. But if you get an altercation on the racetrack that results in you being suspended for whatever reason, I do not believe or do not agree that you should get a waiver to be back in the playoffs.
So I think it should be strictly safety. If it's a safety infraction where you could have caused bodily harm or malicious intent to cause bodily harm, that means you don't get a waiver. Or I heard on Door Bumper Clear, I think it was some of the race teams, and Bob Pockris actually said it as well. You get suspended not only for the one race, but you also get suspended for the first playoff race. That way, at least it does actually, it means something to that actual driver at that point.
Yeah.
Because anything else really doesn't mean crap.
Okay. Let's not suspend them from the first playoff race, but let's make them start from last or hinder. I got to think of a way to say this, because you need to affect the driver and not the team, because it's not the team's fault. The team's not driving the car. So you need to affect the team in a way, or affect the driver in a way to penalize them in the playoffs. If you give them a playoff waiver after being suspended, then at least how do you do that? Do you penalize them for 2 laps at the start of the race? What is it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think it's suspend them for the first one, or put a hefty dollar fine on it too, because it doesn't really make sense to me either that a counterfeit part is
Dollar fines.
worse.
Dollar fines don't mean crap to me, to be honest.
I mean, for Hendrick it doesn't, but some of these other teams that means a lot.
Yeah, but we're not seeing some of these other teams going out there and making stupid moves like what Chase did.
Bubba last year.
Maybe. Way too early championship prediction. I take the 8. I like it. I had Kyle Busch in our prediction show at the beginning of this year. I had Kyle Busch in my championship 4. And I had him winning 4 races. He's at 3. So
I would say right now, said it last week, I think Byron right now, it's his championship to lose this year.
I'm on board with that. I think Byron is definitely the guy to beat when it comes to the championship 4.
Yeah.
But we've got another Hendrick guy in there, the 5. We've got Kyle Busch. The thing I'm worried about with Kyle Busch is obviously RCR does have an issue with short tracks. Bristol is a cut race, and we have Martinsville as a cut race. So Kyle's going to have to definitely stack up some playoff points to help him get through.
Which he's doing a good job. Just don't get caught doing nothing illegal, and he should be pretty much fine at the moment if he keeps running.
That reminds me too. I know why Austin Dillon's 30th in points. Don't forget he had a fine for
60 points.
Yeah, so there is that.
Yeah,
that doesn't help, but still.
Yeah, I mean nothing's worse than poor Eric Jones. Yeah, but he don't have a ride yet.
Yeah, me too.
Same. We all the same. Yes.
No, because the playoffs have already started.
Oh yeah, never mind.
Yeah, that was the Vegas playoff race.
Basically, anyone gets a waiver. It's like candy. There's
you get a waiver. You get a waiver. You get a waiver.
Yeah, they're Oprahing it out there.
I agree. I'd love to see Harvick step it up for the rest of the year.
I don't think it's a Ford this year at all. I don't think there's a single Ford out there that can be consistent enough to make it all the way and win it.
I don't think a Ford's going to make it to the Final 4. Now, when it comes to making the playoffs, Harvick's going to make the playoffs, no doubt. I really don't see a way he's not going to make the playoffs. How many races he's going to win? I think he could surprise us and win 2 or 3 races before the playoffs. It really just they can get on a hot streak. Out of all the Fords, Rodney and Kevin are the most consistent.
Now, do you think Martin Truex is a sleeper now? He's won 2 races this year. He broke up with his, I guess, bad luck girlfriend, and this year he's been kind of more on fire. Do you think he's a sleeper for it?
That's a good question. I'd like to see how the rest of the summer stretch goes. Ask me the end of next month, and I'll let you know, because they've shown speed. Toyotas have shown speed. They definitely have like this short track aero package down, because road course was the same, or Sonoma was the same package as the short tracks. Yep. Dover was the same package as the short tracks. So Dover and Sonoma, same package. Now, when it comes to some of the intermediates and everything, I'm still not sure if they have the speed there for that yet.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we haven't really seen him do much else other places, but, I mean, he's doing a good start. He's racing much better this year. I'm glad to see him back being relevant again, because it felt like for a while there he was kind of falling into a little behind of relevancy.
Make the penalty cars start from the race, the pit road and garage not be eligible for a free pass the whole race. It's not a bad idea. You've got to figure out how to penalize these guys where it hurts the most, and it's not the pocketbook, to be honest, especially these big teams.
I don't think pit road is a good answer for that. Garage, I don't think so either, just because someone's going to end up rushing.
You just have them come in like they've done in the past, where if you get 3 ejections or 3 failures during pre-race inspection, that not only do you lose your pit stall selection, you have to start at the rear, and I think you have to serve a pass-through at the beginning of the race. So
I'd be down for something. Yeah, I'd be down for something around that line, or even that you don't get to qualify for any of the playoff races.
Yeah. What's up, Ronald? We appreciate you joining in. Do you think Chastain's in the playoffs? Yes. Chastain will make the playoffs, no questions asked. I think he's going to win a race here pretty soon, too.
I hope he wins the race soon. Right now, it's not looking great for Ross. Ever since he got into that,
He's in a
whole
little funk
dilemma, he's in a funk right now, and he really needs to get out of it. It'll be interesting to see what he does. Obviously, we got the night race at Atlanta coming up in a few weeks. I'll be interested to see what he does there, and then once I see that, I can kind of say if I think he will or not.
5, 8, 19, 22, championship 4. I like it. I like the 5. I like the 19 now. 19's definitely showing speed.
24 instead of 22.
22, I don't know where Joey's at. The Penske
Well, he's at the barbershop getting his hair plugs cut.
Oh, my God. Take a win away. Yes and no.
There's that one's the points maybe. Take the win away.
I feel like taking the win away is like the encumbered word. You know when Joey Logano got caught at Richmond a couple years ago and they encumbered the win? Whatever the hell that means.
Yeah, but I mean, what I think is like if you're talking about take the win away, as far as that means they still have to win again to qualify, then okay, I can feel you there. But if you're just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one.
RJ said Chase might win Daytona or Atlanta. It's true. Chase is always a good super speedway racer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he won Atlanta July last year.
Or does Ricky come back and win back-to-back Daytonas?
I'd love it. Ricky's having a hell of a season.
He's still doing really well. I am so happy for that team.
Yeah, I am too. Derek on TikTok said, ever since Hendrick neutered the 1, he's not the same. That's true.
Very true.
That's the best way of putting it. He kind of got neutered there, and I think he's just trying to lay low here for a little bit. Let the coal settle. Because how many races in a row this year were we talking about Ross? Whether he was in some type of controversy.
The West Coast swing was nothing but just about Ross. Then they came back, and I think the first at least 3 races were just about Ross again. So I mean, it was consecutive.
I don't see the 24 being that consistent all year. I don't know. We kind of thought that last year, and we saw that last year, but I think Nashville and moving forward is going to be the test for Byron, because Byron hasn't always been a great road course racer, and we kind of saw it in at Sonoma that he didn't have the result that he was looking for. It wasn't what Byron was putting up. But as far as this summer stretch, that's normally when the 24 and the 48 and the Hendrick camp, kind of fizzles out. So
they don't like hot
Byron
tracks.
Can put together a summer stretch and keep the consistency and momentum going, he's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost every year that his car doesn't like hot tracks. We talked about at the very beginning of this year that if William Byron could keep it consistent, at least through the first half, he had a really good chance of making it. And so far, he has done really well, because last year it was like the first 4 races, and then he started making that downhill turn. So I think he's more consistent this year, and if he keeps it up, I really think he has a chance.
Yeah. Brandon McCandless on TikTok said, or maybe if they fail parade race 3 times, start at the tail end of the field and 1 lap down. That's pretty close to what they do right now anyways.
Yeah, because when you have to do that pass through, you're pretty much going down a lap at least.
He also said, I can see Chase's best chance of winning being Atlanta. That's true. Dave, how are they going to fit Chicago into an already packed schedule? Yeah, we'll
Chicago street race or Chicago land. Because Chicago street race, I really think it's a one and done. I don't want it to be a back-to-back year. I really hope it's a one and done. But obviously, if you haven't seen our TikTok video I made today, there's a multi-year deal with the Special Olympics of Illinois. So I'm hoping what that means is that if Chicago road course doesn't make it next year, that Chicago land makes it. That's a possibility because they would still both use the same Special Olympics piece. So I'm hoping that at least that just means there's going to be racing in Chicago, not that it's going to be at the road course.
How about no practice or qualifying? I like it. Park them
Qualifying, I agree with. They got to have practice.
I don't know. You give them 5 minutes of practice just to shake the car down. I guess I don't know. You've got to penalize these guys where it hurts.
Yeah.
Ricky's having a great season. Yes, he is. I am on board that Ricky Stenthouse train. You can call him Ricky Spinhouse all you want. That team, I love to see it. I love to see a little team like that be able to carry momentum from the biggest win of the year and carry it through the whole season. Sometimes we see guys, get that big win. Michael McDowell, for example, he won in 2021, the 500. We saw him carry some of that momentum through, but wasn't able to really get through the playoffs. He obviously
and I mean, obviously he won the Super Bowl of the NASCAR races this year. So glad for him, glad for that team. Hopefully they can keep it up.
Yeah. Love to see Noah Gragson to the 48 and stay in the Chevy camp. Yeah.
I would love to. It's just not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. I want to see I don't mind Noah making the switch back to Toyota. We've talked about this before on the podcast, how
They need it.
Legacy is going to have a really good opportunity here with TRD investing some new blood into the team.
Yeah, and I really hope, we've talked about it before. I really hope Toyota dumps the money into them. I really think they can and they should, but they need this to hurry up because right now it is just disaster after disaster for Legacy Motor Club. Yeah, and just like everything else, you finished too quick. Chicagoland, yes, I agree with you.
Chicagoland, yes, please bring Chicagoland back. Ditch the Chicago street race. Bring Chicagoland back. I love that track. That track has put on some great finishes in the past. I think the last time they were there, it was the Kyle and Kyle show.
Yep. Now, if they do it, 1,000 horsepower package. The short track and road course package needs 1,000 horsepower. Just make it happen.
Haley Deegan to an Xfinity car. I totally agree with that. Haley Deegan needs to be an Xfinity. Get the hell out of a truck series where there's nothing but money funding guys with no talent, to be honest.
Yeah, we've talked about that many times. She needs Xfinity.
Yeah. Let's see. RJ thinks that Chase might win Chicago or Indy. Chicago is going to be a shit show.
Sorry. I don't
Indy,
really.
I think Indy's going to be a shit show too. It has been in the past.
Yeah, I'm not going to set expectations for Chicago right now. It's not. We're not F1. We're not Indy. It's just not what we should be doing.
I agree.
When was the last time moonshiners ran through a hot city?
Go back to Kentucky. It's funny. Kentucky kind of spent all that money as far as repaving their track and trying to think how they did that. They changed the banking and all that. They took away the racing line and made the apron larger. So they spent all that money, and I think they raced there for 1 year like that, and then took it off the schedule.
Yeah, there's been some questionable ones taken off the schedule. I mean, see, the next one is Rockingham, and I really think the Rockingham is going to happen when I'm not quite sure. But I think Rockingham is one of the next all-star, at least maybe all-star or Clash events.
Yeah. Shout out to Garage 56 for having an awesome showing for America.
And I agree with that. So does this prove that NASCAR can run over 700 horsepower and be still consistent as well as the motor take it? Because that motor was based off the same motor that's this Chevy small bar. I mean, it's
R07. Like it's the NASCAR R07 engine. It's just got a little bit of different, as far as intake and injection and everything wise. But as far as like internal wise, it's the exact same engine.
So they pushed over 700.
Okay, hold on. To touch on that too, reliability as far as horsepower and everything. Daniel Suarez missed his shifted all the way down to first gear, like on lap 2. That thing turned 95, 96, 9,700 RPM. Made it the entire race.
Yeah. And at one time, he was back up in the top 10.
Yeah. So as far as 900 horsepower, 1,000 horsepower, internals,
they can do it. There's no excuse now. The only problem Garage 56 had was the transmission. They had to rebuild. They were off the track for 80 minutes. Now, that in itself is impressive because they rebuilt that trans in 80 minutes.
Yeah.
So Great for
I
them.
love endurance racing. I can't sit and watch through all of it, but every time the Rolex 24 comes on, I make it a point to watch, as much of it as I possibly can.
The clip of that car whizzing by after the super hypercar
I know.
class.
I loved it.
Awesome.
I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. America.
But shit.
What about next year's All-Star race on Bristol Dirt? Bristol Dirt. Let's move on.
I think it's done.
Cup cars do not belong on dirt, personally.
It definitely cannot be a point race if they're going to bring it back. But I think it's time to retire Bristol Dirt. I got the flag because I wanted it to be the last Bristol Dirt. So I'm kind of hoping it is.
I agree. Brandon on TikTok says, I'm impressed with Garage 56. America. Yes, sir.
Now, who would be the next team to put a car in for next year?
Probably Toyota.
I think it's Trackhouse.
Oh, as far as like developing a car?
Yeah, for another team. So Hendrick would obviously still be in it for next year, but I could see Trackhouse doing something with it. I mean, Toyota obviously I think would probably want to do something too, but as far as a NASCAR funded team doing it, I think it would be Hendrick and Trackhouse.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's save that topic for Friday.
Okay.
We'll
gotta come back.
We'll talk about anything on Friday. So everybody that's tuned in so far, make sure you tune in on Friday night because we are going to just talk all kinds of racing. Yep. No topic at all, just racing in general.
So hit that like, hit the follow. Go over to our TikTok. Everything is the same name. We made life easy for all of y'all. It's Fast Car Living on every bit of social media there is.
Yeah. And as far as like everybody on TikTok right now, I really do appreciate y'all joining in and watching and commenting and liking. Just know that I'm trying to get to your comments, but also if you join in on our YouTube, that's the quickest way to get your comment on the screen and answered.
Yep.
Let's talk real quickly about the Cup race at Sonoma. We kind of got overloaded here with comments. We obviously had Toyota sponsoring the race, and Toyota dominated the race. Do you agree?
Oh, yeah. For those first laps, it was first through fifth Toyota.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Now, I think some of that had to do with track position and the inability to pass. I obviously listened to Larson's scanner the entire race, and Larson said at the end of the race, had he had just qualified up front, he would have been there the entire race, which I believe is true. That track 100%. Position was really hard to come by. I don't know if you've listened to Actions Detrimental just yet, but Denny talked about quickly how those guys are pushing the tire barriers there in turn 11 further and further in to get more and more on that paint to get grip. And I think NASCAR and these tracks, they need to look at where they're putting paint on these tracks because these guys are going to be hunting for paint all they can. And I think that is what really led to the lack of passing this year at Sonoma.
Well,
turn 11 is a prime passing zone, and turn 7 is a prime passing zone. And when they come out of turn 4, they have that big DoorDash painted logo on the track, and that's where they come out wide to the tire barrier there. Yep. If they did not have that paint on there, some guys could, lose grip, get loose off that turn, and set up a passing zone into 7. And we just did not see that. So
they got to figure out that some tracks, if all 4 tires go past a certain line, it's a penalty. They just need to do the same thing here. And honestly, with Sonoma, there's 11 and there's 7. That's your 2 passing zones. Everything else is really difficult to come by. So NASCAR needs to put a rule in where if all 4 tires go outside the track, it's a penalty. It doesn't matter what track
they did it at Dakota.
Yeah, I mean, it needs to be permanent everywhere, no matter where they're at, whether it be the apron. I don't care if it's below.
I just don't think they need to be painting those areas. I know it's like prime real estate as far as like sponsoring, but they just don't need to be painting those areas and giving these guys any opportunity to be searching for grip.
I don't think they get a choice.
I think they have somewhat of a choice in this.
I don't know.
We weren't seeing this. We weren't seeing this in years past.
I'd love to see someone have to slow down enough to make that turn 4, because right now you're right. They just go out and they basically just shimmy out in there. I mean, there was a couple times where there's going to be one day at Sonoma where someone doesn't move over at the exit of that, and someone's going to go face first right into those tires and wall coming out of 4. because
we've kind of seen that in the past. So yeah,
we've seen it a couple of times. But someone's gonna get hurt doing it, and then they're finally gonna be like, okay, we got to figure out something to do here.
Why are you still here?
We know. Trust me, we know.
So Toyota's dominated the race. We
Mhm.
had no stage cautions, which I'm on the fence about no stage cautions. I need to see. I said this in our group chat too. I need to see an entire season of no stage cautions at multiple road courses to see how this plays out. I think
Yeah.
Watkins Glen is going to be a good test for that because the Glen has always been in the past before stage breaks a fuel mileage type of race. Remember Chase got his first win and it was kind of a fuel mileage race. So let's see how this plays out for the coming road course races before I have my opinion yet on how these turn out.
So I think I kind of just to go off. If you give them 1,000 horsepower, that fixes it.
We're going to beat this as much as we can. I totally agree with that, especially at these tracks where there's worn out, opportunity to spin tires, intermediate tracks, yes or no. We can take tire grip away, whatever it is. But as far as like short tracks and road courses, why can't we go back to 750, 800 horsepower, 1,000 horsepower, whatever it is? Because if these guys were spinning the tires off of these turns and actually had to, we saw it at Wilkesboro, if these guys had to actually do throttle control and save their tires more than what they were, and we had fall off at Sonoma, but if you increased the amount of fall off and driver ability to save tire, I think we would have had some more passing opportunities. It wasn't there this year.
Yeah, I agree. Jimmy had a couple good
Sonoma
ones
and
up
Glen
there.
paved way too much runoff. It is true. It's hard to find a break even point there because if you don't pave enough, then these guys run off and they could crash into the wall. Serious damage. They've got to have some runoff. But as far as painting the surfaces and everything, I don't agree with that much.
Well, my thing about the whole of it is why make the raceway with lines to lines if you're not going to hold them to racing inside that raceway? So I just think all 4 tires go outside the racetrack, which is the non-painted area. It's a penalty. Cut and dry.
More horsepower, need to spin tires. Yeah. These guys are roasting tires off turns. You're going to eat your tires up. It's as simple as that.
Yep, 100%.
You got to give the driver. These cars are so equal to each other right now. You've got to give the driver some ability to make a difference and fall off.
Yeah, these are some of the most talented guys in the world at what they do. You got to make it more difficult than just hop in the car, floor it, and there you go. Give them more horsepower. I mean, maybe the answer is not 1,000, but give us 700, 800, 900 horsepower at these tracks. They shouldn't just be able to downshift and fix any imperfection they made.
Yeah. It's that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
So we saw some differing pit strategies. We saw I'm just going to go ahead and say the 5 and the 9 on that first round of pit stops. They short pitted. They were like in the top 15. They short pitted and they kind of made about 5-6 seconds up on the leaders. They were there.
It didn't help.
It helped as far as their overall positioning on the track, but did it help as far as getting to the lead? No.
Long run, it didn't help.
Yeah. And so obviously if we would have had a restart, whether it was, a stage break, an actual yellow for a stage break and bunch the field back up, we would have been able to see some passing potentially, but we had 2 cautions, one for a loose wheel on pit road of all places, and one for Denny Hamlin. And we've got 47 people on TikTok right now. So everybody joining in, thank you so much.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. But it's just one of those things. Like NASCAR needs to figure a couple things out. Horsepower being one of them. Tires on the track needs to be another one, in my opinion. And then we need the drivers to be the personalities again. I think NASCAR has hindered these personalities so much because of anything could be a fine. What they say outside of the car should not lead to a fine. I don't care.
We look back at the Chase incident. Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you, but yeah, I got tight, hit the wall. As soon as I hit the wall, it broke the suspension. I couldn't turn it afterwards. Like that's
Once you take
pretty much
off them right sides, you just can't. They can't
that's pretty much
control
the
them.
yes answer. Only shifted a road course in Pocono. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hit or miss on this 5-speed transmission too. You give them more gear ratios, they're going to be shifting more. So that was one problem. I know they had to kind of improve or step their into the new generation of race cars by adding, sequential transmission, whether it's, 4 or 5 speeds, whatever it is. Those cars aren't 4 speeds anymore. So with that being said, they kind of had to do that for the OEMs. But what do you think is going to happen? You add more gears, is going to be shifting. And so if you can shift, that's taking away RPM to be able to make these runs. And like you said, these guys go in, blow the corner, downshift. There's no penalty to them.
No penalty to him. Yeah, and I mean, obviously, they said that's probably what happened with Suarez and why he missed shift because obviously, day before he's in an H pattern, and so whenever he downshifted because he went to go up, and obviously he,
Yeah,
over-revved.
that was one of the things that I find a little interesting. I know these guys, they want to get track time, especially at a road course. You want to be able to get out there, familiarize yourself with the track, the turns, braking zones. But when we had the Gen 6 car, it was way closer to an Xfinity car. You had the same transmission, same style brakes. So you can kind of relate your braking zones to the Xfinity car, to the Cup car, your downshifts, your upshifts, all that to the same. But these two cars are way different now. So
hugely.
did it
Bodies.
actually benefit these guys by running the Xfinity race at a road course? I'm not sure it did.
For lines, yes. For comparative
Yes and no,
purposes
but I
on
mean, you can
cars,
get out
no.
there on iRacing. You can get out there on iRacing or even the manufacturer simulators and get some time that way versus just, the Xfinity car is just way different. We saw that mistake. We saw it happen with Suarez.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's some that aren't. I mean, tell Legacy that they can get more simulator time. See what they say.
Yeah, that's true.
But, all right, we're at an hour, so I think it's about time to start wrapping this up. We don't have picks because there's no race this weekend, so I don't know. We'll talk more about everything on Friday. So make sure y'all join us on Friday, TikTok Live. Make sure y'all support our sponsors too if you can. If you need a cooler to take to the racetrack, go to our nice little buddies down here at Kanga Coolers. You can use our code FASCAR10 on their website, 10% off of everything. And there's also a link in our link tree. And you put the entire cooler inside you put the entire case of beer in the cooler. They have backpacks as well. I know there's a lot of people that like the backpack style. Could not speak today. But
maybe if you quit drinking out of your spray bottle.
I think it could have turned itself into tequila by now. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's things floating in it. So who knows? I might be dead by next time. Who knows? But thank you
everybody that's joined in, whether it was on YouTube. I know we had some guys come over from the TikTok onto our YouTube. We really appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube. We're trying to grow that channel as much as we can. Our Instagram, same handle, Fast Car Living. If you follow those two sources, we'll definitely be posting out on there. Of course, on our TikTok as well. Subscribe to us on TikTok because we'll be putting up on our stories and everything when we're going live. And like we kind of talked about earlier, we will be live Friday on TikTok. We're going to talk everything racing. It doesn't have to be NASCAR, whatever you want to talk about, open discussion. We'll be live as long as we want to, no limits. We really encourage you guys coming in for that. So thank you for joining in. Subscribe to us, our Kanga Coolers as well. David, you got anything?
I ain't got nothing else. It's all for me. The fat guy says goodbye. I know it's not to the fat lady sings, but I got the boobs of it. So I guess it's time to go. So until next time, see ya.
Goodbye.